Hello. I'm going to talk about Trump for a little while and everything going on. The sources that some of the sources I've been watching, mostly Heather Cox Richardson. I watch Bernie Sanders and Gavin and a lot of the senators right out of Texas, like Jamie. Um, I like Brian Tyler Cohen too, and Stephen Colbert, obviously supporting him right now a lot. Um, and obviously South Park has been really helpful. So I am obviously overwhelmed. The big news right now is still that Ghislaine, however you say her first name, Maxwell, is defending Trump. And I saw a meme that said that's like Dahmer complimenting your cooking. uh, so, yeah. Miss Maxwell, who's currently playing pickleball at a low security prison somewhere, thinks Trump's a super dude. And meanwhile, Trump is sending the National Guard to cities. None of this, like, if I don't know, I'm not like trying to shame anyone, but yeah, if you're tuned in, like, none of this will really be new for the most part. I'm fairly surface level with all of this. I admit I've been really honed in on California and Texas like everyone else. I had kind of been riding the ignorance train regarding Palestine and Gaza, but I guess Netanyahu is now like full on moving in, and there's an actual famine going on, right? Like, Greta Thunberg is getting back on the Flotilla, apparently with Aurora. Like, if y'all don't know her music, I really encourage you to check her out. It's not an Enya vibe, but it is that deep power. Like, it's Enya calming, but it's also like angry and powerful. I don't know how to describe it. She's not always angry. She's lovely all the time. Anyways, so yeah, people are still trying to deliver food, which is like a crime, and people are trying to get into. I'm not proud of this. I tend to mix up storylines with Palestine and Gaza, and I know that I'm not the only one who probably does that. I know that because I've seen it in conversation with various people. Because I am not one to not shoot the shit about politics with people. So, yeah, Netanyahu is doing his thing in Palestine, to my understanding. And Gaza's in a full on famine, for sure. I know that. Like, actual, just like, no, yeah, like, they're just dropping. People are just dropping. The skildren's chins, the children's skin are just, like, they say it's like it's fragile. That's what they're calling it. And obviously the bellies are bloated. I did Peace Corps in Cameroon, so children with bloated bellies, like, fuck anyone who thinks that's fine, and fuck the people who post those pictures of the kids with little bellies and think that that's cute. Like, it's like Facebook wants to say no, you can't put a burn victim because that's triggering for people, but then it's just, I forget what it's called, but like savior porn or whatever, whenever people want to post a bloated belly of a kid. Like, and it's true, a lot of it in the area I was in, it was poverty and a lack of education, right? Like, oh, we have this much money, we're going to spend it on this carb because we know that it makes us feel fuller for longer. But the understanding of long-term nutrition was, they depend on generational advice because they don't have ChatGPT. And so, yeah, introducing new knowledge, like, why, of course, it needs to be proven. And also, it's not it wasn't fully accessible. I was just always saying, like, yeah, the only vegetables around here suck. But anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. Um, it's bonkers to think that a famine is happening, that what I saw in Peace Corps is happening, but just on a level that's outrageous. I witnessed it in Cameroon, where a dictator was also in charge. And even whenever I didn't expect to talk about Peace Corps this much, but I would go in and talk about, I would go into the neighbors, right, like, who lived by me at my post where I was stationed, and be like, yeah, how is Paul Biya still in power? Like, there's billboards of him everywhere, but y'all are a democracy. Like, what's the deal with the elections here? What's happening? And they would whisper in their own homes, right? the guards that were between every city, which Trump is moving in to every city. Now he's talking about going into Maryland because he's attacking, who is it? There was some, yeah, he's mad at some Governor Westmore. So it's not like DC and the homeless was actually the thing. We know that. But yeah, in Cameroon, Africa, in between the cities, there would be guards, and they were crooked, and they would demand a fee in order to pass. And typically the drivers, like the motorcycle drivers, aka the taxis there, were just used to having to pay fines. It was accepted because in their democratic country, Paul Biya, their leader, had sent the guards there. It's like what's happening here. It's like what's happening here. And all that I had to do, this is the part that really just jumps out at me every single time. And they trained us for this during training. You know, if the guards, like, just have your, they didn't even say if the guards, they were just like, have your cell phone ready whenever you go to these checkpoints, which I had to go pretty often to utilize Wi-Fi, which is pretty much the only reason I was useful to my village to do at least specific projects, because I didn't know some of the things that they wanted to happen. Like, I didn't know how to create a transportation co-op exactly, right? And look into onion storage, things like that. Onion, you know, how to pickle onions safely. Yeah, onions were a big thing around me. I would just have to show them my phone, and I had in all caps, American Embassy. I had their number saved, and they knew exactly what that phone number was, and they were afraid of America. They knew that they didn't want to fuck with an American, and I just the whole time I was proud to be from a country that was respected enough to be like, I'll back off because I know that your contacts are powerful. And I would just miss so much about it, right? Like, wow, it's horrible to live under a dictator. And I would miss home. And now I'm home. And that's upsetting. Like, I've been out of Peace Corps. That was back a long time ago. Almost 10 years now, but yeah, it's weird to think, like, because of course we can miss like people that have died, right? But then we go like, oh, like, or like with the breakup, right? There's that feeling of like, oh, I miss this person, but I know they're still existing and they're still the same person. But yeah, it's a unique grief to be like, no, the country is still here. I guess it's probably most close to people who love someone with dementia, where it's like, I see you, I'm right here, who are you? Like, you know me, you know. So anyways, I was planning to do a lot more just like technical hard facts, but I have a friend right now whose grandma's being denied an insurance claim. Hospice gave her 1 month to live. That was 5 months ago. And 2 months ago, they applied, or I guess in the beginning of last month. Yes, 2 months ago. Applied for in-home care, and they're just dragging their feet and not wanting to pay and having her prove that she actually needs care. It's so crazy. I just don't understand it. So, yeah. I miss the country that existed back when I was in Peace Corps and missing America, where I knew I would feel safe and not be bullied by people in uniform to the extent, like, granted, yes, I'm white in America, so people are bullied by people in uniform, have been for a long time here, to include white people, but obviously not mostly. Look at the prison rates, people. That's the thing. You can talk shit on America and people can be mad and be like, no, it's the thing. Like, you can look at statistics, like, more black people are imprisoned. Like, it's a whole system, right? Like, Reaganomics, we've got it. It's fine. We know why it is the way it is, because we want education. When I say we, I do mean people who don't support Trump. Like, American Eagle, are you psychotic? You're marketing to white supremacists. Surely you know that red states depend on social services more than blue states. You think they're going to run out and buy your jeans whenever their snap is being cut? Like, who was that ad for? Who was it for? The only thing I can think is that the Trump and company decided to pay for the ad campaign, right? I think Trump was like, if you do this racist bullshit, we know you're pretty much going out of business. No one ever talks about you. I need to be associated with Americans and Eagles. Let's do this. And we know that Sydney Sweeney's parents threw a pro-Trump party. Like, so I am definitely not going to say that she didn't know what was going on and wasn't fine with it. I know, we aren't her parents, but it's just a weird coincidence. Like, there's a talk show clip where the host asked her, and she's like kind of shifting in her seat, right? She looks a little like she's looking at the audience kind of for help, like as though they're all her publicists. Oh, I love the clip because I'm like, yeah, look at them. They're probably not happy. Yeah, look a little closer. It's awkward, right? It's awkward. Say that you aren't glad they threw the party. Say it. She didn't say it, and then she did the American Eagle ad. So, whatever. She's got to, yeah, I'm not even going to do any marketing for her anyways. So, yeah, I guess Gavin Newsom, I want to talk about because he's just a badass, and obviously he's mocking Trump. And I saw a meme that said, he said, why is Trump trying to sound like Gavin Newsom? Or why is is he trying to copy Gavin? It's like, right? It's so good. And obviously hearing the Fox News people be like, does he has a wife? Like, does he not have a wife sitting there just like telling him whatever? And also just Trump posting like, we're the hottest country. I think that's maybe Gavin was doing it before. Senator Newsom rather, because like just because he's a liberal doesn't mean he doesn't mean business. So yeah. Senator Newsom then started posting like beefy ass memes, and obviously the irony, Trump is, he's not hot. Sure, he's got a 25-year age difference with his third wife and was able to reel in all sorts of 13-year-olds, right? All right. But Gavin's like a good-looking dude, so and I tend to get him and Hegseth mixed up because, like Hegseth is like he's not ugly, right? Even Heather Cox Richardson was like, oh yeah, if you watch videos of Trump in the '80s, like he was a funny guy. He was like quick-witted, I think she said, but yeah, she recognized that he was like, and she only brought it up to say like, look at how his interviews are now. But yeah, Hegseth, like maybe part of the reason I think Senator Newsom is more attractive than Hegseth is because Hegseth can eat shit. He can eat shit. He's apparently blatantly, I haven't like looked into this, but apparently now he's just blatantly out there being like women shouldn't vote. And I'm not surprised. I know that was a thing for a while. James Dobson died, which I grew up in a church that did the James Dobson stuff, right? Focused on the family with Jimmy Evans was all under that umbrella. And they just talked about, the only two things they talked about were marriage and donating to the church, right? Tithing for people who are in the know. You have to donate 10% of your paycheck. And so, yeah, I was really glad to hear that James Dobson died. I was kind of out of the loop on how bad it all was, and I still am. But yeah. Anyways, and obviously if I did research, I always would be, because only the survivors know what that was like. I also went to Kanakuk camps, funny enough, where Joe White was there, and I forget the name of the dude who, did all the shady things, but yeah, I was intertwined with Focus on the Family and Kanakuk, and now I talk shit on religion, and people want to be like, oh, that's so unaccepting. I'm like, all right, well, you go complain about the Cracker Barrel logo. Like, yeah, there was a cracker on it. Like, there was a comment that was like, they took out the cracker and the barrel. Like, literally, yeah. Like, if they had left the barrel, they would need to put a saltine up beside it to make it make sense. So, really proud of Texans is something else I want to say. Oh, the redistricting with Senator Newsome, fantastic. Fire with fire, it's true. And they're not doing it the same as Texas, right? It's not like, you know, because Trump did go to Abbott and be like, oh, I need this, I'm entitled to this. Those were the words. Um, and yeah, Newsom's like, well, we're actually going to let Californians vote it out, and so it's still not even the same. Trump set out immigration forces or some kind of official patrol literally outside the conference when I guess Senator Newsome was trying to announce, like, I think it was that they were also going to hold a special legislation or vote to hold one, something. Um, and it was funny because in his interview with Heather Cox Richardson, he's like, I really, like, he said something to the extent of, like, I had a speech, but, like, luckily, Trump sent out his people. He didn't say luckily because, like, he did acknowledge people got arrested, but he was like, I didn't even need to make any points. Like, if you would look outside the window here, that is why we need to call this legislation. He's not entitled to these 5 seats. Like, he's not entitled to send his people here. Like, pew, pew, pew. Anyways, so, yeah, other stuff going on. There was a big one. Oh, something really jumping out of me is ICE agents and the things they've said in uniform. I watched a video in which somebody said to an ICE agent, that's how they kept putting it on the South Park episode. I don't fully know the context, if that was mockery or if that is what the right is trying to say is ICE instead of ICE. But anyways, he said, a civilian said to a uniformed, quote unquote, / probably bought it on Amazon, individual, you're running this country. The agent responded, liberals already ruined it. And yeah, like, liberals hate this country. Liberals hate this country. You're saying you live in a ruined country. You currently live in a ruined country. Whenever you said we need to make it great again, you meant we need to make it not ruined again. You implied that you thought it was good by saying we need to make it great. But no, like, you needed to make the slogan, like, we need to make America just a little bit fine again, if that's really how you feel that it's currently ruined. And another video was a young woman, objectively cute gal, if that's a thing, right? Objective beauty, whatever. She went by the ICE agents. I'm like so happy that there's sassy women in the world. Just She said she walked by and is like, we don't want you here, no one wants you here, something like that. And like, oh yeah, because I feel so unsafe, like I super needed y'all here in DC. This one was in DC. And she said she starts to walk away, and they said, bring that skirt back here. They may have even said, bring that cute little skirt back here. I don't care. Skirt? They used to call women, oh, who's the skirt? Bring that. Like, I don't even know which is worse, honestly. Cute little skirt, because that would make it about her clothing. But yeah, anyways, a uniformed agent, bring that skirt back here. A uniformed agent acting like Jeffrey Epstein, because Epstein's best friend is the one who put him there. It's insane. It's actually wild. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, they're trying to send him to fucking, Uganda or something bonkers. And I didn't realize we're sending people to Costa Rica. Shout out to the tribe. And I really, Mokosaku. I don't know the name of the tribe, but shout out to them, because apparently their advocacy is why the concentration camp in Florida got shut down. AA concentration camp. So yeah, lots going on. Big beautiful bill can obviously still suck my nuts. I'm really stoked for midterms, like everyone. I'm really stoked that apparently Trump has not golfed in Today would, if he doesn't golf today, it'll be the longest has not golfed since he was in office, which is like 14 days. Um, and that with the thing on the hand, right? The makeup smudge on the hand. And then, like, I am still living for the roof day. Like, I know that was a little while ago and a lot has happened, but Diddler on the roof? Oh my God, I needed that so much. Also, I've been saying Senator Newsome is like Tiger King was during COVID. Obviously, way more productive, but just like, oh my God, we needed this. Thank you. Thank you. Um, yeah, so the National Guard, Palestine, Gaza. Also, just if you haven't seen videos of Putin and Kim Jong-un, like hanging out, like they're buddies. Like the pictures of Trump and Epstein, how close they were and how they had just have a good time. There are photos like that of Putin and Kim Jong-un. And the fact that Trump is caught on hot mic saying, I think he's going to make a deal for me, like a week before a U.S. factory is bombed, in Ukraine? What the fuck? And there's a video of the U.S. soldiers rolling out the red carpet for Putin, for the man who, in a week's time, will bomb a U.S. factory. Apple CEO, by the way, just like try to avoid Apple products. I just had to buy a new iPhone and I'm pissed about it. It swelled so much that it broke through the OtterBox. Just saying. That's wild. But Apple, the review was like, how was the person who helped you? I was like, 5 stars. And they were like, would you recommend Apple to a friend? And I was like, 1 star. And when it asked if I would be willing to share, I was like, yes, happy to. And said like, yeah, we all saw the plate of gold being handed to Trump's, and we all know that you're 100% exempt from semiconductor tariffs because of what's his butt that your CEO did. Yeah, what's his name? So, things be crazy, and National Guard, Newsome, the things in Texas, yeah, Nicole Collier, that was bonkers. And the people that are shitting on the Texas senators that went back, like, someone pointed out, it's a very part-time job. That was Heather Cox Richardson too. I really like her. Also, Park Rose Permaculture, by the way, is really great. And there's like some guy who posts really interesting clips that he finds. There's another guy. Yeah, anyways, they're just really interesting people. Like people focusing on Trump's golf scores, people like really just hardcore still zoning in on the Epstein. Like there are people who are doing a single issue thing. And whenever the flooding the zone stuff is happening, I am like totally hats off to that. Somebody walking by my house. I don't know if I like that very much, but it have badass flowers, so it does happen a lot. Anyways. Yeah. It's all bonkers. And ICE is over their budget. They're over their budget. The $200 million ballroom, the jet from Qatar, paving over the Rose Garden. If you haven't looked up the color palette that's going on right now, it's like, yeah, they're painting the border wall black. Just like the whole color scheme direction where things are going down to the yellow flags is very just like, ooh, we have seen this color scheme in countries that are not good. Also, there's a country in North Korea that has pastel buildings like a Wes Anderson film, which I never knew. So I'm guessing Trump will want one colorful city. Might start pushing for that soon. Anyways, I'm so appalled. I'm really bothered. You guys. And it's getting harder and harder to boycott the places I need to boycott. And the brands that I don't want to boycott aren't on the shelves because of the tariffs. Like, right, like, I bought a new iPhone this week, but my favorite coffee brand wasn't on the shelf. My iPhone was only 3 years old. Like, And apparently Elon posted something being like, oh, look at this. This was like back in the 50s. Look at this girl on roller skates. And there's like this person in a cute little convertible. And then he posted like like one of his AI bots and like some dude sitting in a Tesla, or I assume it was a dude. There's no way it would be a woman because they don't want us working. Um, but yeah, I was talking with a friend and it was like the American Eagle marketing to people and Elon trying to paint this picture. And by the way, apparently the whole audience was just like, no one wants this. Who the fuck is this for? So he deleted it, as is his thing. But no one is going to be able to afford to roll up to a restaurant and buy food. Like, because the job they used to have has a similar robot. Like, there's not going to be an economy. Just like if he thought it through. In high key, this is like whatever conspiracy levels. It's not a conspiracy. They want us to eat shit, like go after each other here on Earth while they hang out in Mars, right? They're like, we're building a colony, we need all y'all's money to do it. They're gonna go hang out there while nuclear whatever happens and then come back and have their bots. Like, they don't even need people. I'm really frustrated, you guys. Okay, I never make my bed, so it's fine. It's fine. Okay, and I recommend sticky wallpaper just for everything. Hey, babe.